Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, man. If you're new, welcome to the Villa Vince channel. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about like the bad side of having a clothing brand, the truth, you know what I'm saying, exposing having a clothing brand. We're just gonna be talking about like the downside of it. The most obvious downfall of having a clothing brand is that it's super expensive. It feels like everywhere you turn is an expense. I'm gonna call it step one. Like in step one of like making your product, you're already trying to spend money, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta make a mock-up, right? So there's some programs that are free, but there's most like the good ones, like you are spending some sort of cash. I think Procreate on the iPad is like 12 bucks. Photoshop's like the obvious 200, and then you got other like designer softwares, whatever you guys use. There's free ones, but you know what I'm saying, there's like a paid route, and then you either gotta have a laptop that could run all those, or you gotta have an iPad which costs money, or your phone which costs money. So it's like off rip you're already spending money, and that's before getting to production. So after your mock-up, you're gonna spend money in production, and production is expensive, bro. Like, this is one you guys to keep in mind. Every time someone posts their sales, you gotta cut that number in half, right? For example, let's say 50,000. You gotta take that 50,000 and you gotta subtract it in half. So that's 25,000 gone, right? I'm using that 25,000 to actually make the products to sell. So let's say I'm financially smart. Let's take another 10,000 from what I made and let's put it into my expenses. So that's 35,000 already spent on the production and taxes. So I've really made $15,000, but that's like the plus side of it, you know. That's like after you sell everything, because you're jumping in raw dogging it at 25,000 already. You know what I'm saying? So off rip, that deduction in your bank account is gonna hit you anyways. And like 25,000 is just a ballpark, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're still spending 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, shoot, even 500. Like it's just off rip, and spending that much money in the hopes that it will sell. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's just already just dogging you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta spend money on step one, the mock-up. Then you gotta spend money on the production. Then you gotta spend money on that label printer that I told you to get a couple of videos ago, which is like, I'm gonna say 50 to 100 bucks. That is a lot of expenses off rip. And let's say you don't know how to draw. You gotta hire a graphic designer. You can add that to your expenses. It's kind of funny because I have the same expense. But let's say in some occasions you need a photographer. You gotta pay your photographer. So the crazy thing is like that's just the beginning of it. Like you're spending so much money just to set it up. Then you gotta spend more money to market it through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Let's say you get boosted on Twitter, YouTube ads if like you had a cool trailer and whatever. But like that's a lot of money just to get your drop to sell. And I'm gonna add one more. The website programs like the Wix and the Shopify, you gotta pay monthly for those. You know what I'm saying? And then let's say you do free shipping for your customers. That's like 10, 12 bucks that you are spending for your customers. So it's just like, so knowing all those expenses, yes, you can cut some of the expenses like production. You can do a pre-order, but you know, you still gotta spend money anyways. Knowing how expensive just the production side of it, it's like, that's why I really emphasize on, you gotta really like what you're doing. Because you guys know why I make clothes. I make clothes because I just want to make stuff that I would wear. It just so happens that I'm gonna sell it too. Another thing is samples. That's also an expense. If you spend money on a sample and that just comes out terrible, bro, you gotta spend more money on another sample, or they'll give you free one. But let's just say you gotta spend money on the samples, right? So you gotta spend money on the initial sample. You gotta adjust it. You gotta spend more money on another one. It's just a never-ending tunnel of just your money just like leaving your bank account, bro. Financially, aside from like having multiple samples, it is very disheartening like to have a really bad sample just at your door every single time. And because it comes out wrong, you have to communicate with your production, whether you're doing it yourself or you're manufacturing it, to like fix it, and then you gotta wait for them to reply, and then it's just a whole lot of back and forth for another sample that you also gotta fix. Just a lot of time and effort and energy. With everything said, with the expenses, with samples, crap manufacturers, I'm not gonna lie, it is very mentally, I guess, draining. Like it takes a toll on you mentally. It's not like having a YouTube channel or a TikTok, because everyone can just upload a video and post it, and if it does bad, it just does bad. You just don't get engagement from it, but you don't lose money. But in this case, you do. You lose a lot of money just failing. So your failures actually comes with a very heavy weight to it, and it's just disheartening sometimes, bro. As I told you guys in my story time, me and Ethan, we failed in the beginning. Like we failed. On top of what I said already, let's say you do get everything in order, you do get the sample, and you do get the product you want, and you think it look good, and you do all the marketing, and you don't get sales. It's just like, why, you know, like what am I doing wrong and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the stuff I put out don't hit, and that's why I did the whole rebrand and learn from our mistakes. But for wrapping up the video, please do not take this video as me demotivating you. Still make it. I just want you guys to be aware, because I don't see a lot of people talking about this. And the last thing I want to happen is for you guys to just watch my videos and jump in head first and just like get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it is very fun. It is very cool. Like, you guys see the photo shoot vlog, me putting out stuff. I feel like it was very important for you guys to see this side of it, like the side where you don't get sales, you don't get the samples you want, you don't get the manufacturers you want, you're spending all this money and you're just not getting rewarded. But anyways, man, do whatever you gotta do. Subscribe, like the video if you like the video. It's the Villa Vin channel, and I'm out.